25, 6, 7, call it 27. 27 mil of rain in the last couple of days. Yeah, that's why the bales are still outside. Anyway, morning world, welcome to Tuesday, 9th of July, aka TB testing part 1 day. All the guys have gone off. I was hoping this morning they could take my Defender because I spent some hours fiddle-faffing around with it, and finally I don't actually know which fuse or which relay it was that was dodgy on it, but after a lot of fiddling about, all of a sudden the dashboard lit up and it started working again. So I'm just assuming it was one of those Land Rover fuse things where, you know, I don't want to work today. Anyway, that's working, but anyway, the guys couldn't take the Land Rover because yellow engine light is still up on the dashboard, which is possibly the remnants of the fault code it threw up when it ran out of water. It's possibly the exhaust gas recycling valve. Apparently there's, when the AA man tested it, he said there was a fault on the EG or exhaust gas recycling valve switch. So yeah, I'm going to see if I can get that plugged into our mechanics computer later on. I'll see if we can find out what. Yeah. It's a great big, a really big, don't put the chain in it, Ian. So yes, TB testing today. Vet's coming this afternoon, 2 o'clock-ish, so I've got time to get myself organised. The yard is shitty again because we had a little rain again last night, so yeah. See, now I and ahhed about keeping the cattle in for the 2 days between tests. I don't know if I can really. I'm going to think about that. Anyway, for the time being, we're going to shut them out and get the yard ready for TB. Happy days. One day, I'll get this dug out and stoned up. I'll get the yard up there dug out and stoned up. And the other soft bits dug out, stoned up. Anyway, it was interesting testing the bales last night with my new moisture tester. All the bales down the bottom field are fit to come in, apart from the wet bit around the outside. So next dry day, if I've got time, we're going to go and fetch them in. Right, so for TB today, because all the animals are in together, we're going to try and put them all through the race system and the crush on this side of the barn. So we're not going to use the out in the yard bit, partially because if it decides to piddle down with rain, which it could well do, at least we're all working undercover indoors. But to facilitate that, there's not enough space in there to do that. I'm going to have to use this side as well, which kind of goes a little bit against the, oh, I've already cleaned it out. But you know what? I think what we're going to do, we're just going to put a scattering of straw in here. I have to clean it out again anyway, and it's just going to be a case of, once TB is done, provided we go clear, which we'll find out Friday, it won't take long to clean it out again. So I haven't done the floor yet, I've only done the walls, and if they get a little bit of caca on the wall now, that they're not going to get a lot on it in just a day or so, are they? He says, hopefully. I think my seat's gone down a bit. That'll be all right. Right, I think what we're going to do, we're going to put the trailer back down the field, down the bottom, out the way. That's where I'm going to use it next. So, yeah, let's do that. It's a bit wet down there. Holes down there. Right, so the weatherman says this week pretty much damp every day. Next week, fingers crossed, we might get a week of dry. And if it's warm dry, we'll have to see what the weatherman says. If it's warm dry, we'll be going over to t'other farm with the mower and the tedder, and we're going to start knocking that down next week. So, fingers crossed. Yeah, we've got some little black friends out here. Rooks, most of them. I think there might be a couple of crows about, but I think that's nearly all rooks out there. So, and they'll be sitting on my bales, leaving little rook messages on there. Still, at least they're not wrapped and not making holes in them. Okay, I'm going to put you there. If anybody's ever wondered, this is the up down for my arms. So that's up. And this chap here is the maximum height for the arms. So if I want to lift up the pickup hitch, I need to put it to maximum. But the problem with leaving on maximum is on constant pumping and it's all under strain. So when you've picked up and you locked your pickup hitch back in again, you turn it back down a quarter and just let the arms relax. Takes all the pressure off the pump, saves fuel. I mean, the amount of people I've seen with that just left up, you're just drinking fuel for no reason. Just turn the knob back a little bit and listen to the engine note change. It sort of goes, ah. I know that's teaching some of you to suck eggs, but there may be one or two of you that didn't know that. So. Right, so I'll take this, I thought I saw a trespasser, it wasn't, it was a gate post. Take this back up the house, put this back under cover, and then it's going to be basically taking stuff apart, putting stuff together, creating pens and stuff. You'll see, you'll see. So I'm going to video what I'm going to do this morning and how I'm going to build it and the whys and wherefores, probably the whys and wherefores. This afternoon, actually during the test, I don't think I'm going to video that. Like I said yesterday, you've seen plenty of TB tests, you know what happens. We run the animals through the crush, the vet goes zzz, zzz with a razor and he goes click click with the 2 injections and that's it. That's it, there is nothing else to do. Right, it's still here. I got a horrible feeling, not horrible, but I got a funny feeling that this might be its permanent home. Do you know, you get that feeling when someone says, can I park my little tractor at your place? Yeah. And then realise he meant forever. Right then, how are we going to organise this? I'll tell you. So remember, that gate opens that way. So we can run stuff through here. That gate closes that way, which we're going to do right now. And then we've got a gate in the middle, which with a couple of hurdles, I can split this into 2 separate pens with a gate. So we're going to do that. Basically, we're going to split that barn in half, split this barn in half, and then we're going to use these two to move stuff around. So while we're moving around, it's going to be fairly tight sometimes, a little congested perhaps, but this is just for a couple of hours, and then they can all go either back outside, or I'll just open up the bottom half of the barn and they can have all that. So we'll see. Basically, all I got to do is make sure we get everybody in for testing today, and everybody in for testing on Friday. Let's move this out of here as well. Oh, there it is. I knew it was down here somewhere. That's it. Keep me noggin warm now. Actually, I'm going to bring some of the older hurdles that we haven't actually washed yet back in. So yeah, there's no point using clean ones just so I have to wash them again. Actually, I might want that gate as well, so we'll have that. You'll see. I better tie that up as well, or else I'll be chewing that. You can go that way, you can come this way, and basically what we're going to do in a minute, we're going to join that one onto the end of there and just push it out there, keep the cattle out of that bit. There you go. Right, secure at the top of the gate up there and the bottom of the gate down there. That shouldn't go anywhere. As for this side, so the plan is, if we chain the coming down, that one can go back that way. Into there. I could run cattle, I'll close that off in there in a minute. We can run cattle up into here, into this half, and then from here we can feed them through into there, and then from the crush they'll come out of the crush and go back into that half. And as long as the two halves are kept separate at all times, this should work. Right, I need this for the pinholes that end, because we're going to put a barrier across there in hurdles. Well, this is a 15 foot, the hurdles are only 10 foot, so I got to use two, but that's okay. That will work. Oh, well, that was easy enough. It's a small gap, but they'll get through it. What I really need is a stop end to go on there. Have I got one? No. 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 What's in there? 25. Well, that's 20. Ooh! That's what I'm looking for in there. That little fella ain't getting out. I knew I had one somewhere, I just didn't know where. That's what we wanted. That can go in there. That can go in there. Done. I'm also going to need this. For the stop end. I'm not turning the water on, there's going to be no water pressure there. I just don't want the cattle to chew the end of the pipe, because they're cattle, and they will. Also, it gives me something to tie up there. I'll get a bit of string and tie him back. Done. All right, so even though I've got this gate here, I'm actually going to put a second gate across. I've got another 15-foot or 14-foot gate there. So I'm going to put a second gate across here as well. So I can, if I want, close this bit of yard off. I may not need to, I may not want to, but I'd rather give myself the option now. Well, there's no cattle in, there's no vet, there's no rush. I can take my time about it. Better to do it now than wish I'd done it later on. Because for the sake of a few minutes, it's not worth not doing it. That's bale number 4, and it's definitely piqued their interest. So getting them in, I don't think is going to be a problem. Famous last words. So if you look at these two bales, that's smells quite nice actually. That's very soft hay, and this is that like marsh grass that I got from Regis last year. Still smells all right. They smell different, but both smell all right. They will demolish that one and that one first, and then that one will last 2 days. And that one will probably last 2 days. They don't leave any doubt as to which they prefer. I don't like either of them. Too chewy. And won't net it up. Right, get this in. We'll let them in. I'll leave the keys in it. I'll want it again shortly. Hold that gate up, but I think for the time being, I could put that gate up when the vet gets here, because sod's law, I haven't got the roof panel in, and if I leave it outside, it'll rain. I've got splits in my seat, I'll get a wet ass, etc, etc. Right, so refresh the floor in there with wood chip as well, because if I decide to keep them in, they're going to want somewhere to dry the lie. The far end's no problem because I put that Faustiol bale in there the other day, which they knocked about, and they've made a good job of that. But this end, all right, wood chip. All I've got to do now is open the gate, watch them all come in, and then shut the gate. Right, just in case anybody gets any ideas about trying to jump out, because it'll happen. That's the thing with your getting cattle in, especially with TB in, or if you're drenching, or injecting, or whatever else. You don't want anything to escape, because sod's law, you won't catch the ear tag number or recognise the beast that's got out, and then all of a sudden you've got one animal that's just not been done. So come on, out of the way. Out of the way. Go on. Go on, Ed. Go on. In you go. I'd let your water go, please, if you don't mind. Hello, Mary. Hello, sweetheart. Hello, darling. You all right? Let's have you lump free as well, shall we? Go on. In you go. Just the little ones to get in. They seem a bit less than keen. Problem is, if I start chasing them, cows are cotton on, and then I'll lose the lot. I have got 4 hours to get them in, so it's not the end of the world. Go on, tiddlers. In you go. Go on. Nice and gently. That's it. Thank you very much. In you go. Lovely. No shouting, no hollering, no sticks. Nice and gentle. Alright, okay. How'd you manage to get that on there like that? Got a lump of what's name on there? Oh shit, how did you get out there? Okay, I've made a boo-boo. Oh. We've got an escapee. Bugger. Oi, you. You're not supposed to be out here. Come on. No, you can't have that either. Nope. Go on. In you go. Good chap. Back down to your mates. Go on. Back down to your mates. Go on. Go right. Right. Right a bit. No, that's the wrong way. Oh, bugger. All right, hang on a minute. Come on. Get your head round. Go on. Get in there. Naughty. Go on, get in there. Go on. You. Out. Come on. Come on, get out of it. They aren't finished in there yet. That'll teach me to pay attention, won't it? Okay, right, so no panic. So I want 2 more hurdles now. because I want to get the cattle in there, and they're going to be coming from in there, maybe easier to go off this. It's a bit of a pig with the pins getting them in there, but it might just be the easiest way of doing it. Let's do that. Right, that's that side completed. I just put a light scattering of wood chip over the top, mainly because they're outside, they're on wettish grub, they're a bit loose, and this will soak a lot of that up. Ideally make it easier for me to clean back out, you know, probably Saturday or Sunday I'll be in here cleaning this out, depending on whether we pass TB. Everything depends on whether we pass TB. So we're nearly there. So this is going to be pen 1. They're going to come in here, out of the yard, into here. Then from here they'll be fed through into the race, up the race, through the crush. I've actually put some gates along from the end of the crush back into this side. So this is going to be like a void space in here. That's where because I'm going to be jumping backwards and forwards, probably over gates and that, to push cattle in, to push them up the race. I don't know if the vet's bringing any help or not. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But this will also keep animals away from the vet or any staff that he might bring in from me. So they'll literally come from this yard where the skid steer is, through there, up the race, through the crush, out of the crush, and then back into here, where they'll just loiter about for a bit. And then when we've got basically everything out of here, that's why I want to put a second gate across there. I can close that gate again and shut what's left in there. Then I could open that gate and give everybody all this space. So if they get a bit squeezed up, it's only going to be very, very temporary. So this is me just trying to think of everything so we can do this undercover. If it throws down with rain, none of us are going to get wet. So everything's on one side. And basically the handling system we have now with all the hurdles, which is thanks to YouTube, because YouTube bought the hurdles, yeah, we can do it. What's the time? I start at 8 o'clock. It's not bad. On my own. So I've not made huge efforts in this video for, you know, quirky and interesting camera angles, because I am doing this on my own. And although I was told the vet's coming at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, that doesn't mean that that's written in stone. There's always the chance, especially as they know I'm usually pretty flexible. I mean, some farmers it's a case of, if you say 2 o'clock, I don't want you here at 1:59, I want you here at 2 o'clock. I'm a bit more flexible than that, so there's always the chance with me that they might ring up and go, actually, could we come at midday or 11? You know, we've had a cancellation, or someone's done this or someone's done that, and we can come a bit earlier. So the way I look at it, the sooner I'm done, the better. It just gives me a bit less time to mess about with cameras. Chips are a bit wet, so it's sticky. It's not coming out the bucket very well. It's not like I ain't got any, is it? Besides that, if I decide to keep the cattle in over the weekend, I might leave that side open and let them sleep in there as well. I'll give it a bit more space to spread out, because there is a lot of them and they do need a bit of space sometimes. Just a few more hours cleaning out next week. Maybe not quite that much. That'll do. That's better. Quarter past 11. Coffee time. I decided to take the risk of a wet ass. So I put the second gate in. There's no hinges for that second gate. So I literally chained it up over there using the same chain as I use for this gate. So one chain doing two jobs. And I put the skid steer there. It's not going to fall over. Closed the pen door because I don't really want them in there more than I have to. And I think I'm just going to open the gate and let them in. Let them get used to going over that concrete pad because they don't cross that very often. So let them have a sniff around, find their way, because this is all, to a lot of them, this is completely new. A lot of them will never have been through this way for TB testing. So yeah, we'll let them look at it for a couple of hours. Right. At the moment, they can't get to that water tank over there. So if anybody's wondering, don't worry, they've still got access to 3 tanks. There's one in the barn over that end, there's one in the corner over there, and there's one outside. So they've got plenty of water, they've got plenty of food. All they've got to do now is come and crap all over my cleanish barn. Innit? That's all you got to do.